Hello again and welcome back to the Gunners View, your home for daily Arsenal news and updates. The Premier League leaders, Arsenal, are getting ready for a big test this weekend. They're making the trip to the City Ground to face Nottingham Forest this Saturday, January 17th. And the training ground talk has been all about fitness and focus. Mikel Arteta's men are sitting 6 points clear at the top and are on an impressive 10-game unbeaten run across all competitions. The goal in training this week? Recovery, rotation, and making sure the squad maintains that winning mentality after tough wins against Portsmouth in the FA Cup and Chelsea in the EFL Cup semi-final first leg. The players were back at the Sober Realty Training Centre immediately, barely 48 hours after the Chelsea game, putting in the work to manage their physical demands ahead of another demanding fixture. Arteta's latest team news update now for the part you've all been waiting for, the injury latest, straight from the boss, Mikel Arteta. He addressed the media ahead of the match, providing updates on several key players. The big question marks over two major players seem to have cleared up: Saliba and Leandro Trossard. Great news here. Both players, who were doubts earlier in the week and missed the FA Cup tie, are expected to be available for selection against Forest. Saliba returned to full training this week, and Arteta confirmed a decision will be made on his involvement, but he is in contention. Trossard, despite a recent knock with Belgium, is also fit to feature. Piero Hincapié, Riccardo Calafiori, Cristhian Mosquera and Max Dowman. Unfortunately, these four remain sidelined. Arteta confirmed earlier in the week that Hincapié, groin, and Calafiori, muscle injury, are not available yet, and no clear timeline has been given for their returns, though Calafiori is expected back in the coming weeks. Mosquera and young Max Dowman are both recovering from ankle ligament injuries with similar timeframes and are still a few weeks away from returning to training. So while there are a few key defensive absences, the potential return of Saliba is a massive boost as Arsenal look to extend their lead at the top of the Premier League table. The team knows it will be a tough game at the City Ground against a Forest side fighting relegation, so focus will be key. Meanwhile, Arsenal player ratings versus Chelsea. Victor Gyökeres answers his critics while Martin Zubimendi runs the show as Gunners take control of Carabao Cup. Semi-final Arsenal took a big step towards the Carabao Cup final by edging past Chelsea 3-2 in this dramatic all-London semi-final first leg. But Mikel Arteta's side will be left feeling they probably should have put the tie to bed, having twice seen a 2-goal lead pegged back at Stamford Bridge. Goals from Ben White, Victor Gyökeres and Martin Zubimendi had the Gunners in control throughout this topsy-turvy contest. But a second-half brace from substitute Alejandro Garnacho ensured Chelsea have something still to play for at the Emirates in 3 weeks' time. The Gunners were the dominant side for the majority of the game, and when Gyökeres struck from close range soon after half-time to add to White's early opener, they looked set to go on and seal a comfortable win. But Garnacho pulled a goal back out of nothing, and after Zubimendi had scored a fine goal to restore Arsenal's 2-goal advantage, the Argentine struck again to give some life to Chelsea ahead of the second leg and leave Arsenal with some regrets that they did not finish this tie at the first attempt and seal a comfortable win. But Garnacho pulled a goal back out of nothing and, after Zubimendi had scored a fine goal to restore Arsenal's 2-goal advantage, the Argentine struck again to give some life to Chelsea ahead of the second leg and leave Arsenal with some regrets that they did not finish this tie at the first attempt. Goal rates Arsenal's players from Stamford Bridge, goalkeeper and defence keeper Arrizabalaga 6 out of 10. Made a couple of smart saves, including one from Estevao before the break. Was a bit weak for the corner that led to Chelsea's second. Ben White 8 out of 10. Popped up with a vital goal early on, his first since April 2024, and put in the ball that led to Gyökeres adding the second. Good battle with the dangerous Nito. William Saliba, 7 out of 10. So close to scoring a wonderful goal when his curling effort just failed to pick out the top corner. Gabriel Magalhaes, 8 out of 10. Excellent as always, produced some superb headers to clear the danger. Jurriën Timber, 7 out of 10. Moved over to play left back against Estevao, got forward a lot and did leave some space behind him, which Chelsea looked to exploit. Subs and manager Gabriel Martinelli, 6 out of 10, saw one good chance blocked. Mikel Merino, 6 out of 10, looked certain to make it 4-1, but Sanchez somehow kept out his volley. Kai Havertz, not applicable. On for the final 10 minutes, Gabriel Jesus, N/A. No real impact having come on late. Mikel Arteta, 6 out of 10. If anything, his attacking changes opened things up a bit too much. Meanwhile, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been speaking to the media in his latest press conference, with all eyes firmly on the Gunners' upcoming League Cup semi-final first leg clash against Chelsea. As expected, the Arsenal manager addressed key talking points surrounding injuries, squad depth, and the pressure of facing a familiar London rival at a crucial stage of the season. Arteta began by underlining the importance of the Chelsea fixture, describing it as a high-intensity encounter that demands full focus and commitment. He acknowledged the quality in Chelsea's squad and stressed that Arsenal must be at their best, both mentally and tactically, to take control of the tie ahead of the second leg. According to the Spaniard, knockout football leaves no room for mistakes, especially against top-level opposition. A major part of the press conference centred on injury updates and player availability. Arteta provided clarity on the situations of Riccardo Calafiori, Piero Hincapié and Cristhian Mosquera, admitting the club is carefully monitoring their fitness levels. While he remained cautious with exact timelines, the Arsenal boss sounded optimistic about having solutions within the squad, highlighting the depth and versatility Arsenal have built over recent windows. Arteta also touched on the importance of squad rotation, particularly with the busy fixture schedule Arsenal are currently navigating. He praised the professionalism of his players, stating that everyone understands their role and is ready to step in when called upon. This, he said, is vital for maintaining consistency across competitions as Arsenal push on multiple fronts. The Arsenal manager was also asked about the atmosphere surrounding the Emirates and the role the fans will play. Arteta made it clear that supporter energy can be a decisive factor in big matches like this, urging fans to create a hostile environment and get behind the team from the first whistle to the last. As the press conference concluded, the message from Arteta was simple but confident. Arsenal are focused, prepared, and fully aware of the challenge ahead. With injury news closely watched and a huge semi-final against Chelsea looming, all signs point to another intense chapter in Arsenal's season. Meanwhile, it's Mertesacker will step down as Arsenal's academy manager at the end of the current season, 2025/26, bringing an end to his 8-year tenure in the role. He stated that the decision was a difficult one, but that he felt it was time to move on and explore something new and push myself even further. Analysis: why Sky Sports describes his departure as a significant blow. Sky Sports and other outlets describe Mertesacker's departure as a significant blow because he was a popular and key pillar of Arsenal's current structure, culture and mentality. Mertesacker was instrumental in reshaping the academy's culture, guiding players with a strong young Gunners philosophy that emphasised discipline, humility, and developing well-rounded individuals, not just footballers. Bridge to the first team. He built a clear and effective pathway from the academy at Hale End to the senior team, a period that saw a strong pipeline of genuine prospects emerge. Arteta Ali. He was a key ally of first-team manager Mikel Arteta, with both having joined the club as players at the same time and sharing a vision for the club's future. impact on youth development and player progression. Mertesacker's tenure has been widely regarded as highly successful, defined by a consistent stream of talent reaching the senior squad. Bukayo Saka. A standout success, Saka became a first-team cornerstone and an England international under Mertesacker's watch. Mertesacker noted Saka's humble and disciplined mindset as key to his progression. Emil Smith-Rowe, another key graduate who revitalised the Arsenal DNA and made a significant impact on the first team, particularly under Mikel Arteta. Emerging talents. More recently, Mertesacker has overseen the progression of several promising young players who have already made first-team debuts. Miles Lewis-Skelly, a highly rated midfielder who has featured in Premier League and European matches. Ethan Nwaneri made history as the Premier League's youngest ever player and has continued to develop within the first-team setup. Max Dowman, one of the latest graduates to make his first-team bow and a key player in the youth teams. Potential consequences of his exit. Mertesacker's departure presents both challenges and opportunities for Arsenal's future. Challenges. The main challenge will be replacing his unique blend of leadership, club understanding, and hands-on approach with parents and young players. Finding a successor who can maintain the momentum and standards he set at Hale End will be a primary focus for the club's leadership. Opportunities. The transition could also allow for fresh ideas and new coaching voices to be introduced, potentially creating even clearer pathways from the academy to senior football. Arteta's project. While Mertesacker's exit removes a close ally, the robust structure and philosophy he has embedded should provide a strong foundation for Mikel Arteta's long-term project to continue to reap the benefits of the academy system. The club is currently working on a succession plan and expects a seamless transition, with Mertesacker